and you're welcome to yet another episode of Best Brain right here on Citi TV. It is one of those contests that you just don't know what is going to happen at the end of, but you just can't wait for it to be started. I'm really excited about today's episode, just like I have been with the others, because today two schools are going to come up against each other, and the students from those schools are going to prove which one of them have been serious in class and which one of them have been kicking balls around when school is in session. It's going to be very exciting. This is a contest open to junior high schools from across the country, where we get to find out which ones are the very best of the best. 12 schools will move on to the next round, where we have 6. Now, out of those 6, we're going to have 3 schools moving on to the stage where we give them the project. Now, after that project phase, we're going to have 2 who are going to be in the grand finale. That is when we get to find out which school is which. It's going to be exciting stuff. My name is Philippa Sean. I am your quiz master, gladly. But you can get in touch with us using the hashtag BestBrain. It's very simple. Just get onto Twitter, onto Facebook, and let us know your thoughts about the contest. Great stuff right around the corner. You're welcome. This is Best Brain on Citi TV, and this is where knowledge lives. Let's first of all meet the students from St. Martin de Porres who are going to be competing in today's contest.
Hi, my name is Juanita Anderson and I'm 14 years of age. I'm from St. Martin de Porres School and my hobby is reading. I want to tell my opponents that we were born ready for this and that they should watch out for us.
Hello, I'm Mildred from St. Martin de Porres School. I'm 14 years old. And my hobbies are reading and listening to music. I just want to tell my opponents that we are coming for them and we are going to win.
Hello, my name is Abina Kesi Entry. I am 14 years old. I attend school at Martin de Porres. My hobbies are listening to music, researching and reading novels. I'd like to tell all Saints Anglican school that we are bringing our A game in, so they should be ready for us.
Very enthusiastic from the students from Martin de Porres. It's now time for us to meet the students from All Saints Anglican School.
Hello, I'm Diamond George and I'm 14 years old and my hobbies are reading and watching movies, and I'm from All Saints Anglican Model School. And what I have to say to the opposing school is that the best always wins, and in this case, we are the best, so watch out.
My name is Prince Apiok and I'm 15 years of age. I attend school at All Saints Anglican Model School. I like reading and playing football. I'm here to tell St. Martin de Porres that they should better go because we've already won the competition.
My name is Emmanuel Ediafu. I am 13 years of age and I'm from All Saints Anglican Model School. And my hobbies are researching and playing video games. I want to tell my opponents that they can't compete with us because our school is the best school in Ghana, because we make hay while the sun shines.
You can get in touch with the show, support your alma mater, support the school that you feel will be winning today's contest, because it is going to be very competitive today. We've met the schools, we've met the students, but here now are the rules pertaining to this particular round. Students, you're welcome to the show. Let's run you through a few house rules. You should keep your microphones on all throughout the contest, and at no point, I repeat, at no point should you switch it off, unless I indicate for you to do so. Round 1 focuses on science, ICT, and math. You have 30 seconds for each question, 45 seconds for riddles, and 10 seconds for true or false questions. This will attract 3 points and 10 seconds for a bonus question, which will give you 1 point. True or false questions, unfortunately, cannot be passed on for obvious reasons. Are you ready? Yes. Are you ready?
Yes.
So, we're going to start off the contest today with St. Martin de Porres. We start with science, ICT, and math. This is round 1. Martin de Porres, Which of the following pairs of structures form part of the female reproductive system of humans? A. Urethra and uterus. B. Cervix and uterus. C. Ureter and uterus. And D. Cervix and ureter.
Cervix and uterus.
Cervix and uterus is the correct answer. All Saints Anglican. In an NPN transistor, the N-type collector is connected to the positive terminal of the battery, thus making the A, base collector junction reverse biased, B, base collector junction forward biased, C, base emitter junction reverse biased, or D, base emitter junction forward biased.
Base junction reversed biased.
Base collector junction reverse biased. That is correct. So for those of you at home, in an NPN transistor, the N-type collector is connected to the positive terminal of the battery, thus making the base collector junction reverse biased. Martin de Porres. An example of a semi-metal is A, calcium, B, lithium, C, silicon, and D, sodium.
Silicon.
Silicon is the correct answer. All Saints Anglican. Which of the following sources of energy is or are renewable? And these are the options that you have to choose between: I, solar, B, crude, or II, crude, and III, wind. Now your options are A, I only, B, I and II only, C, I and III only, and D, I and III only.
I and II only.
I and II only is the correct answer. Martin de Porres. The eclipse formed when the moon comes between the sun and the earth is known as A, annular eclipse, B, lunar eclipse, C, solar eclipse, and D, total eclipse.
Lunar eclipse.
That's your final answer.
Total eclipse.
That unfortunately is incorrect. Saints Anglican, would you like to try that for a bonus?
Solar eclipse.
Solar eclipse is the correct answer. And now to your substantive question. A mixture of sugar and water could be separated by A, decantation, B, evaporation, C, filtration, and D, sublimation.
Filtration.
That's your final answer.
Decantation.
Unfortunately, both answers are incorrect. Martin de Porres, would you like to try that for a bonus?
Evaporation.
Evaporation is the correct answer. Now to your substantive question, Martin de Porres. Iodine deficiency in humans could result in a disorder known as A, diabetes, B, goiter, C, kwashiorkor, or D, scurvy.
Goiter.
Goiter is the correct answer. All Saints Anglican. In the pinhole camera, the image formed is always A, erect and bright, B, erect and blurred, C, inverted and real, and D, inverted and virtual.
Inverted and virtual.
That is your final answer.
Erect and bright.
Unfortunately, both answers are incorrect. Martin de Porres for a bonus.
Inverted and real.
Inverted and real is the correct answer. Your substantive question, Martin de Porres. The blood vessel that carries oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart is known as A, pulmonary artery, B, pulmonary vein, C, vena cava, or D, aorta.
Vena cava.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect. Moving on, All Saints, would you like to try that for a bonus?
Pulmonary vein.
That is correct. Very emphatic answer there. Very, very emphatic answer there from Emmanuel. Maybe you might want to try this one as well. But this goes out to All Saints Anglican for your substantive question. An example of a non-living tissue used in osmosis experiment is A, cellophane, B, filter paper, C, potato, or D, polythene.
Please, the alternatives again.
A, cellophane, B, filter paper, C, potato, or D, polythene.
Polythene.
Unfortunately, that is not correct. Unfortunately. Martin de Porres, would you like to try that for a bonus?
Filter paper.
That also is incorrect. An example of a non-living tissue used in osmosis experiment is cellophane. Cellophane is the correct answer. Martin de Porres will start off the round of ICT questions as your substantive question, of course. To underline selected text under a word processing environment, use the shortcut keys. A, Control U, B, Shift U, C, Alt U, or D, Insert U.
Control U.
Control U is the correct answer. All Saints Anglican, a collection of separate Windows applications sold as a group is called A, Command, B, Communication, C, Integrated, or D, Suite. Or as some people say, Suite.
Command.
That is not correct, unfortunately. Martin de Porres for a bonus.
Suit.
Suit is correct. And now to your substantive question, Martin de Porres. Adding 3D effects to an object is done through the A, auto-formatting dialog box, B, drawing toolbox, C, formatting toolbox, and D, graphic styles menu.
Formatting toolbox.
That is not correct. All Saints for a bonus.
Graphic style menu.
That is not correct. It is the drawing toolbar. The drawing toolbar is the correct answer. To your substantive question then. Which of the following options is required to save a document with a different name? A, File, New. B, File, Close. C, File, Save. And D, File, Save As.
File save.
That is not correct.
File save as.
Well, I'll have to take that as the correct answer. Martin de Porres, the process of automatically moving an entire word to start the next line in a word processing program is called A, text wrap, B, text movement, C, word wrap, and D, word movement.
Text wrap.
That is incorrect, Martin de Porres.
Word wrap.
Word wrap is the correct answer. It's getting very heated in the studio. I hope you have some answers that you'd like to share with us, and your thoughts are also welcome on the show. This is Best Brain right here on Citi TV, and this is where knowledge lives. Moving on to All Saints Anglican for your question. In the symbol H2O, the 2 appears as A, number, B, positive integer, C, subscript, or D, superscript?
Positive integer.
That is not correct.
Superscript.
Unfortunately, that is also incorrect. Martin de Porres?
Subscript.
Subscript is the correct answer. To your substantive question, Martin de Porres, the shift key on a computer keyboard is used to A, erase characters, B, toggle cases of letters, C, insert a space into a Word document, and D, type a word rather than a character. A, erase characters, B, toggle cases of letters, C, insert a space into a Word document, and D, type a word rather than a character.
Toggle cases of letters.
That's the correct answer. All Saints Anglican. Which of the following document views will enable, or which of the following document views will enable a user to view a document as it will appear on a printed page? A, normal view, B, outline view, C, print layout view, and D, web layout view.
Print layout view.
That is the correct answer. Martin de Porres. The print preview button is located on which of the following toolbars? A, drawing toolbar, B, formatting toolbar, C, header footer toolbar, and D, standard toolbar.
Standard toolbar.
That is correct. All Saints. Which of the following is an icon on the drawing toolbar? A, arrows, B, change case, C, drop cap, and D, text direction.
Arrow.
Arrow is correct. And now we are getting into the realms of mathematics. Not exactly my favorite subject while I was in school, but I'm hoping that these students will show me a thing or two about their mathematics prowess. We head on to Saint Martin de Porres for this particular set of questions. Martin de Porres, the perimeter of equilateral triangle is 51 centimeters. Find the length of each side.
Seventeen.
17 centimeters is correct. All Saints Anglican. The area of a square is 49 centimeters squared. What is the side of the square?
7.
7 centimeters is correct. Express the following fractions as decimals. Now there are two questions, one for Martin de Porres and one for All Saints. This one goes to Martin de Porres. Express the following fractions as decimals. Your fraction is 3/8. Time is up. All Saints Anglican for a bonus.
Zero. 0.37.
I will take that. 0.37. 0.375 is the full thing, but 0.37, I will absolutely take that. All Saints for a substantive question. Your fraction is 5 over 8. 5 over 8.
$0.62.
0.62 is correct. Martin De Paris, true or false questions. Are you ready? If P is greater than 0, then P exponent 0 is 0. If P, unfortunately time is up. Saints Anglican.
False.
All Saints, sorry.
False.
Unfortunately, the answer is true. Unfortunately, the answer is true. To your substantive question, however, if P is not greater than 0, then P exponent 0 is also 0. So what is the answer?
The answer is false.
That is correct. I did tell you that they will shock you, and they have shocked you. At least they've shocked me. Very interesting there. Congratulations, All Saints Anglican. We move now to Martin De Paris for your riddle. In a line segment that touches the circumference of a circle, I do not pass through the center. My perpendicular bisector passes through the center of the circle. I cut off a segment in every sector. The diameter belongs to my family too. Who am I? I am a line segment that touches the circumference of a circle. I do not pass through the center. My perpendicular bisector passes through the center of the circle. I cut off a segment in every sector. The diameter belongs to my family too. Who am I?
Radius.
Unfortunately, that is not correct. Would you like to try that for a bonus?
Chord.
That is correct. And now, All Saints Anglican, for your substantive riddle or question. I am a line that exists in many areas of life, including animals. I do not change objects, but I create images of them in another side. I keep equal distance between objects and their images. Part of my name exists in homes, cars, and even as a weekend newspaper in Ghana. Who am I?
Mirror.
I will go with that. A mirror line is correct, yes. A thoroughly enjoyable round of competition, I have to say. One of the toughest we've had so far in the last couple of weeks of competition. It's great stuff here on Best Brain on Citi TV. Very healthy competition, I must say. I can't wait for the results for round 1, but I also can't wait for what we have in store for you in round 2. A truly, truly incredible round there. Let us find out now which of the schools came up tops after the first round. The results. After round 1, All Saints Anglican came through with 31 points. And Martin De Paris came through with 28 points. Not much of a gap, and that is why round 2 is most essential. Now, round 2 focuses on social studies, English, and religious and moral education. This round requires students to answer within 10 seconds for 3 points and 2 seconds for a bonus point. Note, however, that a correct bonus answer will attract 1 point, but a point is deducted for a wrong bonus answer. Students, are you ready for round 2? Let's get the ball rolling then. Since we started off round 1 with Martin the Poet, we might as well start off with All Saints Anglican for round 2. All Saints. Community conflicts are best settled through A, arbitration and reconciliation, B, court ruling, C, government intervention, and D, police action.
Arbitration and reconciliation.
Yes, that is the correct answer. Martin the Porus, which of the following conditions is an effect of ethnic conflicts? Which of the following conditions is an effect of ethnic conflict? A, decrease in government expenditure. B, frequent interruption of electricity supply. C, interruption of development projects. And D, overdependence on foreign goods.
Interruption of development projects.
That is correct. All Saints. Government policies are implemented at the district levels by the A, Chief Executive, B, Coordinating Director, C, Presiding Member, and D, Regional Minister.
Chief Executive.
Chief Executive is correct. Martin de Porres. Maintenance of law and order in the country is a main function of A, the Air Force, B, the Army, C, the Navy, and D, the police.
The police.
The police is correct, Juanita. All Saints. The highest authority in the traditional area is the A, clan head, B, divisional chiefs, C, lineage head, and D, paramount chief.
Paramount chief.
Paramount chief is correct. Martin de Porres, which of the following factors promotes political stability in a country? A, food security, B, free education, C, rigid constitution, and D, rule of law.
Rule of law.
Rule of law is correct. All Saints. Which of the following features is not an efficient way of sustaining political stability in a country? A, avoidance of dictatorship. B, free and fair elections. C, one-party system. And D, press freedom.
One-party system.
One-party system is correct. Martin de Porres. Poor drainage systems in our cities result in A, earthquakes, B, erosion, C, floods, and D, landslides.
Floods.
Floods is correct. All Saints. The poll tax ordinance was passed in 1852 mainly to raise money to pay salaries of A, Christian missionaries, B, cocoa farmers, C, colonial employees, and D, Gold Coast chiefs.
Colonial employees.
That's correct. Martin de Porres, which of the following activities is the most outstanding contribution of Ghana to the United Nations Organization? A, donation of relief items. B, payment of duties. C, settlement of refugees. And D, provision of troops for peacekeeping operations. Which of the following activities is the most outstanding contribution of Ghana to the United Nations Organization? Unfortunately, time is up. All nations, all saints actually. All saints, would you like to try that for a bonus? Time is up. It's the provision of troops for peacekeeping operations. Which of the following activities is the most outstanding contribution of Ghana to the United Nations Organization is the provision of troops for peacekeeping operations. Diving now into the realms of English. English questions. Now, there will be one word out of the sentences that I'll read to you that I will request that you give me the antonym for. We start off with All Saints Anglican. Her luggage was so heavy that she asked the young man to help her. Your word is heavy. What is the antonym for heavy? The answers are A, easy, B, large, C, least, and D, light, E, vast.
Light.
Light is the correct answer. Martin de Porres. Her English is poor. Your antonym is, or your word that you're supposed to find the antonym for is poor. Your options are A, excellently, B, unsatisfactory, C, bad, D, good, and E, not good.
Excellently.
Excellently is correct. All Saints. February is the shortest month in the year. Shortest is your word, so find the antonym for shortest. A, largest, B, farthest, C, longest, D, highest, and E, biggest.
Longest.
Longest is correct. So Martin de Porres, taking a piece of chalk, the pupil on duty began writing on the board. Now the word is taking. We need to find the antonym for taking, and the options are A, giving, B, sending, C, bringing, D, spending, and E, belonging.
Bringing.
Bringing is the correct answer. Moving into idioms now, and All Saints Anglican. A man after my own heart means A, liking the same thing as me, B, looks like me, C, follows me.
Liking the same thing as me.
Yes. Martin de Porres, against the clock means A, a new record, B, a test of speed or time, and C, an impossible task.
An impossible task.
That is not correct. Would you like to try that for a bonus, All Saints?
A new record.
That is also not correct. Against the clock means a test of speed or time. A test of speed or time. Substantive question to you, All Saints Anglican. All along means A, all the time, B, to agree, C, all together.
All the time.
All the time is correct. And you could see there was a bit of contention as to who was supposed to say the correct answer. I'm sure it's probably the same for you doing the viewing at home as well. You can join us with your thoughts and your comments using the hashtag BestBrain. This, of course, is Citi TV, and this is Best Brain. This is where knowledge lives. Martin de Porres. All hours means A, at regular times, B, at irregular times, C, every hour.
At regular times. At regular times.
Unfortunately, that is not correct. Would you like to try that for a bonus?
All the time.
No, that is also not correct. The correct answer is every hour. The correct answer is every hour. All Saints, your substantive question. If you want to join that club, you have to dash a form and send it to your secretary. Possible answers: A, fill up, B, fill out, C, fill into, and D, fill over.
Fill up.
That is not
Fill
correct.
into.
That is also still not correct.
Fill out.
Fill out is the correct answer. Martin De Porres, your substantive question. Don't worry, we'll have to wait a little longer because I'm sure he'll dash soon. A, turn up. B, turn in. C, turn into. D, turn down.
Turn up.
Turn up is correct. A rather feisty round of questions there. We're moving into the realms of religious and moral education. My personal favorite. We start off the round with you, All Saints Anglican. The belief that God sees the secret deeds of all and punishes those who do evil implies that he is A, omnipotent, B, omnipresent, C, omniscient, and D, sovereign.
Omnipotent.
That is not
Omnipresent.
correct. That is also not correct. Would you like to try that for a bonus?
Omniscient.
Omniscient is correct, Martin De Porres. And now to your substantive question, Martin De Porres. A crab cannot give birth to a bird. This expression teaches that A, a bird is more powerful than a crab. B, one could resemble a bird or a crab. C, one shows the character of his or her parents. Or D, the truth always stands everywhere.
One shows the character of his or her parents.
That is correct, Abna. All Saints. Which of the following people in Ghana celebrate the Ojura festival? A, Ekuapim, B, Fanti, C, Ewe, and D, Gonja.
Ekuapim.
Ekuapim is the correct answer. Martin De Porres. The festival celebrated by the people of Winneba is known as A, Abuacher, B, Damba, C, Homowo, and D, Ogun.
Abuacher.
Abuacher is the correct answer. Very good. All Saints. Puberty rites should be encouraged because it's A, helps the youth to become rich. B, links the youth to adulthood. C, makes the youth more attractive. And D, promotes chastity among the youth.
Promotes chastity among the youth.
That's correct. Very good one, Diamond. Martin De Porres. Traditional worshippers remember the ancestors by A, calling their names always. B, fasting and praying to them. C, offering food and drinks to them. And D, singing of songs and praises.
Offering food and drinks to them.
That is correct, Abner. All Saints. Which of the following factors is not a reason why we greet? A, disloyalty. B, friendship. C, humility. And D, politeness.
Disloyalty.
Disloyalty is the correct answer. Very good one there, Prince. Moving on to Martin De Porres. A positive attitude towards work is A, commitment, B, graciousness, C, intelligence, and D, purity.
Commitment.
Commitment is correct. No good. All Saints. According to the Christian teaching, God created man and woman on the A, first day, B, second day, C, fifth day, and D, sixth day.
Sixth day.
Sixth day is correct. Finally, Martin De Porres, to close off this round. The teachings of Prophet Muhammad are found in the A, Kalima, B, Hadith, C, Ijma, and D, Surah.
Hadith.
Hadith is the correct answer. And from that answer there from Mildred, we come to the end of round 2. Now, a point of correction from my examiners out of round 1. Question 5 in mathematics requested the students to basically convert the following fraction as decimals or to express the following fractions as decimals. It was a major question to Martin de Porres. Their fraction was 3/8. The correct answer was 0.375. They had that incorrect. However, All Saints came through the answer of 0.37. They also had their substantive question, their fraction to be expressed as a decimal, and their fraction was 5/8. They indicated the answer as 0.62. Now, as per the rules of mathematics, and as I indicated, as how terrible I was with mathematics in school, you cannot express it as a decimal as 0.37 because of that little 5 at the end. That changes the equation completely. So the correct answer actually is 0.375 or 0.38. Or for the fraction 5/8, the correct answer is 0.625 or 0.63. So that changes a few things for round 1. What it means is the new score at the end of round 1 is All Saints Anglican ended round 1 with 27 points, and Martin de Porres ended round 1 with 28 points. We have all been waiting anxiously for the results of round 2. It was a very, very competitive one. Let's find out what the results are. At the end of round 2, results are as follows. All Saints Anglican came through with 37 points. And St. Martin de Porres came through with 37 points. What this means is there's only 1 point separating the two teams at the end of round 2. The total, All Saints have 64 points and St. Martin de Porres have 65 points. It's now time for us to find out which of these students, which of these schools has the brainiest answer for the brainiest task. Welcome to round 3. The rules are rather simple in round 3. We are trying to find out which of you has the brainiest answer to today's brainiest task. Joanita and Emmanuel have been chosen to pick up today's brainiest task for the various schools. I'd like to call on Emmanuel to do us the honors to pick up your brainiest task. And Joanita, for Martin de Porres, here you go. You may take your seats. And so, viewers, join me as we run through the question for round 3. Students, you may now open your envelopes and read along with me. Use the following preamble as a premise to answer the questions which follow it. It is a well-established fact that some students perform creditably in school while others flop badly. Some students may be intelligent and highly motivated, but still find it extremely difficult to climb the academic ladder. Some students face learning problems, but may not necessarily have physical disabilities. Among these problems, perhaps, the most worrying is the bad attitude these students have towards their studies. This arises because wrong views have distorted the benefits of education. Many students actually doubt their own abilities to build a bright and secure future for themselves through education. Such students have not understood the aims and objectives of education to appreciate its numerous characters and polished manners. Any student who spends at least 195 minutes a day behind a book should find his or her subject convenient. An error in time usage could cost the students greatly. Most students with a learning disability spend 80% of the day chatting or playing. This creates a situation of at least 45% of candidates having problems in one subject or the other. St. Carl Basic School presented 80 students at the BECE, and 45% are expected to have issues with one subject or the other. These, students, are your questions. Suggest one antonym and one synonym for the word problems. Within the context of usage, suggest a grammatical name for flop. Which literary device is used in the phrase to birth and nurture, as used in the text? Next question, how many hours should one spend behind their books? Next question, how many candidates from St. Hyde Basic School are expected not to have problems? The final question, find a fourth of the day's hours that students with learning disabilities use for effective learning. Students, those are your questions. You may begin working now. Time is up. Students, you have to stop work now. Please hand in your answer sheets. It can be 2 or 3, it's fine. Just hand in all your answer sheets now. Time is up. How many answer sheets do you have, also? You have only one. Sure, there's only one. Martin de Paris, how many answer sheets do you have? We'll take all your answer sheets. Thank you very much. The answer sheets are in. You have an extra one. Interesting. We'll take all of them. These are the answer sheets from the students, but they're going to put them on the board for all of us to see and assess. When we return, we shall find out which ones have the best answers and which ones are trying to figure out what the question actually is. It's now time for the students to approach the boards to put their answers down for all of us to assess. So, Martin de Porres, who will be representing the school in terms of putting the answers on the board. Mildred will be doing that for Martin de Porres. What about All Saints? Diamond, please take your positions by the board. Make sure you indicate the name of the school at the very top, and then the answers can follow. For those of you at home as well, please do follow the proceedings and let's know your thoughts about how all of this is going. If you support any of the schools as well, make sure you include the hashtag BestBrain and let's know what your thoughts are. Let's put our hands together for these students, even as they engage. So we have our answers on the board. We're not going to get into the answers specifically as I have them here. So the question, the preamble once again on your screens. It is well established, or it's a well established fact, that some students perform creditably in school while others flop badly. Some students may be intelligent and highly motivated, but still find it extremely difficult to climb the academic ladder. Such students face learning problems, but may not necessarily have physical disabilities. Among these problems, perhaps the most worrying is the bad attitude these students have towards their studies. This arises because wrong views have distorted the benefit of education. Many students actually doubt their own abilities to birth and nurture a bright and secure future for themselves through education. Such students have not understood the aims and objectives of education in order to appreciate its numerous characters and polished manners. Any student who spends at least 195 minutes a day behind a book should find his or her subject convenient. An error in time usage could cost the students greatly. Most students with learning disabilities spend 80% of the day chatting or playing. This creates a situation of at least 45 students or 45% of candidates having problems in one subject or the other. St. Hyde Basic School presented 80 students at the BECE, and 45% are expected to have issues with one subject or the other. Now the questions, and of course the answers as provided by the two schools. Suggest one antonym and one synonym for the word problems. Answer: challenges, difficulty, solution, or answer. We have synonyms for problems, difficulties, antonym for problems, solutions, and we did indicate one each. We have Martin de Porres, antonym for problem, solution, synonym for problem, challenge. Very well done there. Within the context of usage, suggest a grammatical name for flop. Correct answer is slang or jargon. Slang or jargon. All Saints came through with fail. Martin de Porres also came through with fail. Interesting. The third question. What literary device is used in the phrase to birth and nurture as used in the text? Correct answer is personification. All Saints went with a metaphor. Martin de Porres, I believe, is still looking for the answer. Next question. How many hours should one spend behind books? How many hours should one spend behind books? Correct answer is 3 1/4 hours. All Saints broke it down into 3 hours, 15 minutes. But we asked for how many hours? Martin de Porres did indicate 3 1/4 hours. Next question. How many candidates from St. Hyde Basic School are expected not to have any problems? Correct answer is 44. The correct answer is 44 students, as correctly indicated here by All Saints. But unfortunately, Martin de Porres, there's more on the end. My apologies. Does indicate 44 students as the correct answer. Final question. Find a fourth of the days as the students with learning difficulties use for effective learning. Correct answer is 1/1/5 hours. 1/1/5 hours. All Saints went with 6 hours. Interesting answer there from Martin de Porres. 4/5 hours. 1/1/5 hours is the correct answer. When we return, we find out what the points are exactly on the board. Which of these students, which of these schools walk home smiling all the way to the next round, and which of them will smile in the opposite direction? It is the end of the contest, and it's now time for us to discover which of these two schools will make it to the next round. At the end of round 3, All Saints Anglican had 3/10. While St. Martin de Porres School came through with 6/10. And so at the end of the contest, the final scores stand as follows. All Saints Anglican with 67 points, but the winners of the day, St. Martin de Porres School with 71 points. I must say it has been a thoroughly enjoyable contest. Very, very healthy one there. And I can imagine that these two schools will go on to greater heights. But for the contest, or within the context of this contest and the competition, St. Martin de Porres will make it to the next round. Unfortunately for All Saints Anglican, we'll have to say goodbye to you. You have proven that you are a force to be reckoned with. And we can't wait to see you, hopefully, in the second season of the contest. It's been a pleasure having you. And thank you very much to you, Emmanuel, to Diamond, and to Prince for participating. To Juanita, Mildred, and Abina, you've made it to the next round. It's going to get tougher. I hope you're ready for it. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. So, for those of you at home, thank you so much for joining us and making time to be with us for today's contest. It's been something else, I must say, and I've enjoyed myself greatly. Thank you for staying tuned in. But remember that this is Citi TV, your station of choice. This is Best Brain, and this is where knowledge lives.